Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Snowtable from fellow Tangle addict Susan Lewis. All right, Susan did this. I think it's been a while, and as I was doing my regular nosing around for what to use, and I had this kind of in the back of my head, and I'm like, oh, and it just started snowing again here in Michigan. I'm like, oh yeah, let's do Snowtable. And what a fun tangle it is. We today, the time of this recording, it's Thursday, so that was Tangle Time Day, and so I will show you the my results. If you want to see everybody else's results, make sure to go to my website. If you go to the description section, look down for the link tree link, and that'll take you to one of the links on there is to my website. Subscribe to my blog, and when I get the recap posted, then you will see the results. Also, while you're there, if you happen to be on Facebook, you can follow my page, or if you want to join our Tangle Addicts community group, we would love to have you. Super fun time there. There are 4 questions to answer, just so you know, to gain entry. So, like I said, we'd love to have you. And I did share the screenshots. I might start doing that now. Just share the screenshots there. I don't know. I'm trying to make things a little easier, but so that we at least get something out. So anyway, this one starts, and you could kind of do this either way, either with a little orb in the center of where you want it, or start with the larger orb. I'm going to start with the larger orb. We'll see how well I do. Freehand. Yeah. we had fun talking about that, or using what we lovingly call a cheaty thing. Some sort of aid to and it's fine if you want to do it. We joke because in the method that is Zentangle, we don't do rulers, we don't do erasers, all of that. It's just freehand, and there is a method involved in it. There are 8 steps to that method, if you did not know. And if you would like to learn more, I do a class whenever there's a 5th Tuesday in a month, and I think the next one is April 30th. That is the day that I have designated to present Zentangle Essentials, is what I call it. So we go through the method. It's only $15, so we have a good time. We always have fun, but that way then you understand. Okay, so big orb, small orb, in the center-ish. Okay, oh, that's not too bad. All right, then we're gonna do S shapes. Oh, I think I'm gonna do different. Yeah, sort of different, I guess. We're going to do, it's essentially an S shape. And what I like to do, and if you're doing it like on a square, it makes it easier, because then you could either, point it to the corners or to the sides, whichever, way you want to do it. And you know what? No, actually, I'm going to take that back, because I might do something else to it extra. I don't know. Okay. And then also, because I have this glaring little bump here that, whenever you have something like that, it's like, okay, what can I cover that up with? How can I incorporate that into the design? Well, here's how. All right, so like I said, an S shape curve line, but we're going to kind of end it up in a spiral. So, all right, so here's all, and I'm eyeballing, okay, here's the center. I'm going to trace over a little bit of here, come down. I'm eyeballing for this part of the curve to see if I can get it to at least be close. Close is good. And like that. Okay, now we're going to do it on the flip side. And if you need, I'm going to I've been doing it this way, even though it doesn't feel comfortable. It feels more comfortable than flipping it the other way. And so we're going to mirror what we just did, like that. Then, now I was joking, like I did north, south, east, west, but really it's north. Turn your tile. We're at north again. Okay. So, same thing. I want to make sure that my hand is showing good. Okay. And because it's Zentangle, it doesn't nothing matters, as we it's half jokingly say, because it doesn't. There are always ways to course correct. If something doesn't go the way you want it to go, it's all good. And then if you go slow, so like that's why I'm working to go slow, because like here, well, like this one, you see this one is bigger than this one because wait. Well, that's where I started, so never mind. On this one, let's see. I might have to stretch it over or something. But in the end, it just doesn't matter. And going slow is nice because that helps with the, the meditative aspect, and slow and focusing on what your pen is doing, and just kind of absorb yourself in that. And it makes it a lot more fun. We don't want to hurry through this. I mean, you don't have to go the phrase molasses in January. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do. It's all good. Okay. Well, that side's going to be a little bit bigger, but that's all right. Okay, there we go. Hey, that doesn't look too shabby, if I do say so myself. Okay. Next. And if these don't meet, it's, again, it doesn't matter, but just figure out how you might want to do it. That's what Mom did. She's like, oh, mine don't meet. And so she put this next step just right on the orb. It's, we have the step outs to show, okay, here's how this is done, but you don't have to replicate it. It's plenty fine not to. So in this little crevice, actually, you know what? Let me do it upside down. Do it this way first. Because that way I feel more comfortable in my hand doing that. So, 4 straight lines equals a diamond. But so if you just tuck it right in there into that crevice, and of course, however, big, small you want it to be, it's up to you. You could do this too. This sometimes saves the spinning of the tile. But this side doesn't feel that comfortable in my hand. And I like to share all of these different ideas because what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for somebody else. And I'm aiming to, I have a quiver full of analogies and different ways to phrase things. So something will stick for most everybody, I do believe. All right. So now we have our 4 little diamonds. On top of these, we're going to do some more spirals. And of course, I mean, they, however you want to do them. It's one of those, how many times do I have to say it, or how many times do I end up saying, however you want to do it. It's like, I notice it myself. It's like, okay, I'm becoming a broken record. But sometimes I'm only speaking for myself. Sometimes I need to hear things multiple times. All right. And this is also nice because it's like, I had this little tag at the end of these that was just kind of hanging out there. But it's nice because then it gets incorporated into those. And that's it, honestly, except for decoration and whatever fun you might want to have with this. I I keep looking back at my my stuff. Although I did a couple similar things. Okay, maybe I'll do it opposite. So I'm going to put just some little straight lines, going very light touch on these, because then if they're a little wonky, it's okay. I was really tempted to do the whole background with these lines, and I'm like, oh, you probably shouldn't. I could, though. Or could use like I could use a gray pen, I was also thinking. Because I think it'd be neat to have a background. All right. Now, I'm going to do an aura. As we just got done with Valentine's Day, and we're still doing hearts. Yes. Hearts don't go out of style. And actually, I'm glad I didn't fill them in right away, because I think what I'm going to do, because I think it's such a neat look, is I'm just going to thicken one side. Ooh, look at that. And I'm just going to do, the same side, turn it, do the same side on all of them. It doesn't matter. Oops, let's make that meet up. And oops, so look at, okay, thank you, whoever was screaming, you missed one. Sometimes I get, it's like you have a thought and it just gets all exciting and then everything else goes out the window. All right. And it wouldn't be right to leave this, empty. Although, could do that same thing here in the center. Oh, no. Let's make it a nice, but since it doesn't matter, and I have this little bump here, I'm going to put an orb inside. Let's see if I can do this better than I did. I was doing it as an example on our session, and I had this part. So if you want to create an orb, and maybe you don't have a white gel pen, this is one way to do it. So I do an orb on one side, and then kind of make a crescent shape. This back part I'm going to fill in. So towards the end, like this. So, 2 curved lines. I'm going to fill in the rest. And do it bigger than you think. Because I can't remember what tangle I was doing. And, doing these shapes. And then when you fill it in, I was realizing, like, yeah, you see, I see this orb, but I'm not thinking what it looks like the inside of the line, because there's a very small bit of space there, right? Anyway, things were turning out way smaller than I was thinking, and I'm like, wait, I really need to take into consideration the line that I'm making. And so here on this crescent, I'm just kind of shaving some of it away. You can reshape it as needed, and by shaving it away, I'm just really tracing over the edge. Same thing with this orb. So if you make it bigger than you think, you can always do that. And so then it looks nice. It has the shine without having to use a white gel pen. Although you still can do it on there. It's just, then it won't be competing with the ink. And it'll make it, even more brilliant than you think. Okay, now for some shading. Let's do... I'm going to do around these hearts because I really like that one the last time I did that. So both sides. Okay, and am I going to follow my own advice here and not do cross things? Oh, yes and no. Let's not put the tortillon, though, down in the middle. So what I usually like to do, if you've never heard me talk about shading, is putting the tip of the tortillon, tip of the pencil, where you want it the darkest. So like here, I broke my own rule by reaching over, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. And it's really just kind of a safety measure of, so you don't get graphite where you don't want it. Because sometimes you still don't get it where you don't want it, even as hard as you might try. I'm just going to use what's left here in that center. And it's just kind of neat because it pops those out. I might fill in that back with the graphite, not sure yet. And this is what's kind of neat, is to do things in stages, especially if you're not comfortable with shading. I know we had some people in their Facebook community that were if you're watching because I mentioned, it depends on the tangle, that I'm doing on the daily tangle, but a lot of times we talk about shading just to get some of these ideas. I'm going to flip around the other way. I don't know. I think it's going to need to have that filled in. What do you think? All right, that one's done. Like, what direction was I going? Because I've done it all haphazardly. I think it's gonna. We'll see. Well, and two, I mean, it's just our imagination. I mean, it's an indent. Interesting how it, whatever is on the, the inside of the graphite always looks a little bit brighter. Yeah, let's do. And I'm just going to use what's left on the Tortillion. Ooh, let's do, what if I do this? If I start on the side where it's darkest. Oh, yeah. That was a good idea. Like it. Let's get that filled in better. And a lot of times I forget that not only can we use the graphite to shade, but we can use it to fill in. And then we have kind of light, medium, dark. The natural tile color, the graphite, and then the the black. And I'm just doing one side of this. Or maybe just the top. I don't know. Let's see. Sometimes just go with your gut, whatever. It's like, okay, the hand decided it was doing that. Okay, we're going to do that. Oh, I think the whole top. So I can just spread the rest down the other direction. Yes. Okay, there we go. Whoops, let's get that. Yeah. Okay, love it. So much fun. It's so many ways you can, decorate, make it your own, all of that kind of thing. And so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click on the like button. If you liked it enough to see more and haven't subscribed yet to the channel, while you're clicking, go ahead and click the subscribe button. I'm seeing pencil line, and I don't like seeing pencil line. So I'm just smoothing it a little bit. Oops, and there's one more. And you know what, if you're, depending on what kind of paper you're using, just another shading tip. Sometimes if you get the Tortillion, this poor thing is totally falling apart. And it's not that old. If you use it more on its side so the little grooves can grab the graphite, that, like when I use cardstock, it's very smooth. And so I learned, well, number one, test it first and see how things work on it. And then two, go really light, but then use this really almost right on its side so it'll grab the graphite and move it the way you want it to be moved. All right, there we go. Now I'm happy. All right, so I mentioned that description section. You'll find links to the step outs. I always do my own version and then link to the creator of the Tangle. I mentioned below that my link tree, so you can find, all social media, website, Facebook links. Also, if you're I was going to show you. If you're interested in doing something like this, so I do 2 sessions, both on Thursday. They're free. Tangle Time is what it's called. There are also links in that link tree besides Facebook, because if you're not on Facebook, that's okay. There's a couple other places where I post classes, and that way you can find them there. Or, I have them on my website. I just don't have a mechanism right now to register for the classes on my website. Just, you could make a calendar item and a reminder, and then, go back and look. And it usually, at the very minimum, 5 to 10 minutes before the class is when I try to log on. So the code should be correct at that point. If it's ever incorrect, try it again. And sometimes I've either realized I needed to fix it, or maybe I hadn't put it in yet. So just some inside baseball. All right, so here was the first session. So one of those, I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to decorate this. But still had fun, and I'm just seeing something right now that I want to course correct a little bit. Let's make that a little bit more even. This was a very whimsical. There we go. Very, very much whimsical. So a lot of fun that we had with this. And you get to do whatever you want. Decorating is completely up to you. It's a lot of fun, and I'm seeing some other places to fix. And then this was the second session that I did. There, I had a goopy. Did I fix it? Yeah, sort of goopy graphite. So this was the second session, and I decided, well, I'm going to do it just a little bit different and have fun with Zen bossing and gems. Really, this is debossing because you use a stylus and kind of dig into the paper. And I put colored pencil on top. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. So if you'd like to join in on this kind of fun, like I said, we don't say you must do it this way. It's up to you, whatever you want to do, and you could follow what we end up doing. It's, like I said, it's up to you. Lots of fun. All right, so I think I covered everything. If not, watch tomorrow. I might have different information. All right, so with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.